Welcome. This is a space for healing, for deeper awareness, and for discovering inner peace. Most human beings are not truly living life. Instead, they are living an idea of who they are. This constructed idea is called the ego. Ego is not arrogance. Ego is not pride. Ego is not confidence. Ego is simply identification. The moment you identify yourself with something limited, suffering begins. Right now, most are identified with their body, their thoughts, their emotions, their profession, their beliefs, their success, or their failure. We begin with a simple, yet profound confusion. A case of mistaken identity that shapes our entire existence. You look at your reflection, at the form that moves through the world, and you say, "I am my body." You feel its sensations, its pleasures, its pains, and believe this vessel is the entirety of who you are. It feels so solid, so real, so undeniably you. But this body was not the same 10 years ago. It is not even the same as it was a moment ago. Every second, millions of cells die and are replaced. The atoms that compose your form are in constant flux, borrowed from the earth, the air, the water, and destined to return. The body is a river, not a statue. If the body is always changing, who is the constant witness observing this change? Who is the I that persists through this endless transformation? Then, you turn your attention inward to the ceaseless chatter of the mind, and you say, "I am my thoughts." You identify with your opinions, your beliefs, your plans, your memories. You believe you are the voice in your head, the one that analyzes, judges, and narrates your life. But your thoughts are constantly changing. They are as fleeting and insubstantial as clouds passing through the sky. A thought of anger is replaced by a thought of peace. A belief you held dear for years can vanish in an instant of new understanding. Thoughts arise unbidden and disappear without a trace. Are you the fleeting clouds, or are you the vast, open sky in which they appear and disappear? You feel a wave of joy or a surge of sadness, and you say, "This is me." You become the emotion, allowing it to define your entire state of being. But feelings, like thoughts in the body, are impermanent. They are waves on the surface of the ocean of your being. They rise, crest, and fall back into the depths. You are not the wave. You are the ocean itself. That confusion, that deep-seated habit of identifying with the transient, is the ego. Ego is not who you are. It is not your essential nature. Ego is a borrowed identity. It is a mental and emotional construct, a story woven together from countless threads of conditioning. It is a mask, assembled piece by piece that we forget we are wearing. Remember, as a very young child, you were simply aware. You existed in a state of pure presence. There was no strong sense of me and mine. There was just the experience of the moment, the warmth of the sun, the taste of rain, the feeling of being held. There was a sense of unity with everything, a seamless connection to life itself. Then, slowly, society gave you labels, a name to answer to, a family to belong to, a culture to adopt. You were given ideas of good and bad, right and wrong. You were taught what to strive for, success, wealth, status, and what to avoid, failure, shame, insignificance. Each label, each story, each judgment became another layer, another thread in the tapestry of the ego. These identities were useful, even necessary, to function in the world. They provided a map, a way to navigate the complex terrain of human society. They gave you a role to play, a script to follow. But the problem began when the map was mistaken for the territory. The problem began when the role you were playing became your reality. You forgot that you are the actor, and instead believed you were the character. This is the root of our suffering, clinging to a borrowed, fragmented self, while forgetting the boundless, unified awareness that you truly are. Consider the nature of the self you believe you are. It is like wearing clothes. Imagine a simple woven garment, a form you inhabit to navigate the world. These clothes, this constructed self, are useful. They provide a structure, a personality, a way to interact with the material plane. They are the collection of your stories, your roles, your memories, and your ambitions. They are the name you answer to, the face you think is yours. But if you forget that you are wearing these clothes, if you lose the awareness that you are the silent presence beneath the fabric of personality, a profound confusion arises. When you start believing you are the clothes, that you are nothing more than this collection of thoughts, labels, and histories, that is ego. It is the moment the wearer becomes lost, identifying completely with the garment. Understand that this ego is not evil. It is not an enemy to be vanquished. To see it as such is merely another layer of the ego itself, creating a new conflict, a new story of struggle. It is simply unconscious living. It is the state of being asleep to your true nature, carried along by the currents of thought and emotion without awareness. It is the dream from which you have not yet awakened. An ego-driven mind is always, relentlessly, concerned about itself. It is a closed loop of self-reference, a constant hum of anxiety beneath the surface of your days. This mind is a tireless narrator, spinning tales of its own significance or lack thereof. It whispers constantly, "How do I look?" It is not asking about physical appearance, but about the image it projects into the world. Is the mask secure? Is the performance convincing? It worries, what will people think of me? The ego lives in the minds of others, or rather in its own imagined version of their minds. Its sense of well-being is outsourced, fragile, and dependent on external validation. It questions its standing. Am I respected? Am I important? It seeks a hierarchy, a ladder to climb, a position to secure. It needs to feel solid, but it builds its foundation on the shifting sands of opinion. This constant need for validation creates an endless, exhausting task of self-management and image control. And at the root of this entire mechanism is a single, corrosive question. Am I better or worse than others? Ego survives on comparison. It is the very air it breathes. To the ego, nothing exists in isolation. Everything is measured against something else. It creates a world of duality, of up and down, superior and inferior, winner and loser. For the ego to feel good, someone must be below you. For it to feel inadequate, someone must be above you. It cannot simply be. It must be in relation to. Without comparison, ego cannot exist. If you were to withdraw all judgment, all measurement, all ranking, the entire structure would collapse. It would dissolve like a phantom in the morning light, for it has no substance of its own. That is why ego is deeply, fundamentally fearful. Its existence is a precarious one, built on a foundation of illusion. It knows, on some deep, unconscious level, that it is not real, and it lives in constant terror of being exposed. This gives rise to a universe of fears. The fear of being wrong, because its identity is tied to its correctness. The fear of losing its image, for the image is all it believes it has. The fear of being ignored, which to the ego is a form of annihilation. The ultimate fear of death, the final dissolution of the form it clings to. And underlying all of these, the most profound terror, the fear of its own insignificance. An ego-driven person, living in this state of perpetual fear and defense, does not respond to life with wisdom and presence. He reacts. He is a bundle of conditioned reflexes, a puppet whose strings are pulled by external events. Someone insults him. A button is pushed, and the mechanism of anger arises automatically to defend the fragile self-image. Someone praises him. Another button is pushed, and the pleasant sensation of pride arises, temporarily inflating the sense of self. Someone ignores him. Perhaps the most painful button of all is pushed, and the cold emptiness of insecurity arises, confirming the ego's deepest fear of being nothing. In this mode of being, life happens outside. The world of form, of events, of other people's words and actions becomes the sole determinant of your inner state. Your peace depends entirely on these outside events. You are at the mercy of the wind, tossed about by every comment, every circumstance, every gain, and every loss. That is bondage. It is the prison of the self, a cage built from thoughts and fears. But it is a prison with an unlocked door. The key is not to fight the ego, but to see it, to watch it, to become the silent, spacious awareness in which the ego, like a passing cloud, is allowed to rise and fall without being mistaken for the sky. There is a timeless parable that speaks of a profound internal victory. It begins with a figure of immense stillness, a monk, whose life was a walking meditation. His monastery was the forest, his roof the open sky. He moved through the world like a gentle breeze, touching everything but claiming nothing, his existence a testament to a peace the world cannot give, and therefore cannot take away. One morning, this ocean of calm was met by a storm. A villager, his mind a tempest of frustration, approached the monk. He saw in the monk's tranquility a mirror to his own chaos, and sought to shatter it. He unleashed a torrent of insults, a river of harsh words flowing from a place of deep pain. He shouted, hurling abuses, each one a stone intended to wound, to provoke, to draw the monk down into his own state of suffering. And the monk? He stood silently, present and open, like a vast sky receiving passing clouds. His silence was not a strategy, it was his nature. It was a fullness, a space so complete there was no crack for the villager's anger to enter. He listened not to the words, but to the pain behind them. He saw not an attacker, but a suffering being, lost in the fog of his own mind. The villager's storm of rage eventually exhausted itself, crashing against the shore of the monk's unshakable peace. The silence that followed was heavier than the shouting had been. Confused, his anger deflated, the villager leaned forward, his voice now a hoarse whisper. Why? Why are you not reacting? I have insulted you, I have questioned your honor. Are you a stone? Do my words mean nothing to you? The monk, his presence as gentle as the morning light, finally broke his silence. His voice was calm, like the quiet surface of a deep lake. His words were not a defense, but a teaching, a gentle pointing toward a truth the villager had never considered. If you bring a gift for someone, the monk began, and you hold it out to them, but that person does not accept it, he paused. To whom does the gift belong? The villager, caught off guard by the simple question, blinked. The logic was undeniable. He had come with a gift of poison, expecting it to be received, but it remained in his own hands. The villager answered, his voice barely audible. It would belong to me. It would still be mine. The monk's presence softened. Exactly, and so it is with your anger. You have brought it to me as a gift, but I do not accept your gift. With those words, the monk turned and continued his walk, leaving the villager with his own unaccepted, burdensome gift. This is the key. This is not suppression of emotion, but a profound understanding of where true ownership lies. The monk did not fight the anger. He simply recognized it did not belong to him. This is the absence of ego. When there is no me to defend, no fragile identity to protect, there is nothing for an insult to stick to. It is like trying to stain the sky. An awakened person does not need to destroy the ego. He simply outgrows it, the way a mighty oak outgrows the acorn from which it sprang. For such a being, the external world does not fundamentally change. Life situations remain. There will still be storms and difficulties. The waves of life continue to crash upon the shore. But the inner experience is transformed. The awakened one is no longer a fragile boat tossed by the waves. He is the vast, deep ocean itself, which contains all waves but is disturbed by none. Anger may arise as a flash of energy, like a cloud passing through the sky. It is observed, felt, and allowed to pass without a story, without a me who is angry. Sadness may come, like a gentle rain. It is allowed to wash over the landscape of the soul, but it does not dominate. Pain may exist, for the body is still subject to nature. But psychological suffering, the story we tell ourselves about our pain, does not. Because suffering needs a self to cling to. It needs an ego. An awakened person knows, with a certainty deeper than thought, I am not the body. I am not the mind. These are precious instruments, a lens through which the universe experiences itself. But they are not the self. I am the awareness that is using them. I am the silent, spacious consciousness in which all thoughts, feelings, and sensations appear and disappear. This realization is the ultimate freedom. Some enlightened beings have lived this truth immersed in the world, engaging with life in all its richness, yet nothing owned them. They were in the world, but not of it. Others have renounced the world, retreating to find the same freedom in stillness. These are different paths to the same destination, boundless freedom. The ego does not dissolve by fighting it. To fight the ego is to strengthen it, for the fighter is the ego itself. It is a shadow wrestling with itself. The ego dissolves when awareness expands. It is not a process of removal, but of inclusion. The more conscious you become of the vast, infinite space of your own being, the smaller the ego becomes. It is like lighting a candle in a dark room. As you carry that candle into a vast, sunlit cathedral, the darkness simply ceases to be. It was never a thing in itself, only an absence of light. So it is with the ego and awareness. The practice, then, is not a battle. It is a gentle turning of attention. Simply observe your thoughts. Watch them as they arise, flicker, and fade, like clouds drifting across the sky. Do not judge them, cling to them, or push them away. Simply notice them. Watch your breath. Feel the gentle, rhythmic rise and fall of your own life force, the anchor that holds you in the present moment. In this simple observation, you begin to notice how the sense of I arises in every thought. I like this. I don't like that. This I is the root of the ego. The moment you see this I clearly as just another thought form arising in consciousness, you are already beyond it. The observer is not the observed. In that space between, freedom is born. The ego is a limited, constructed identity, a collection of memories and beliefs desperately trying to protect itself. It is a fence built around a small patch of land, claiming to be the entire landscape. It is a necessary stage of development, but not the final destination. Freedom is not somewhere else. It is right here, right now. It is one identification away. It is the simple, profound letting go of the belief that you are the small, limited self. This letting go is not achieved by force or will. It is the natural consequence of seeing clearly, a release that happens through awareness. When you know yourself not as the wave, but as the ocean, not as the leaf, but as the entire forest, when you know yourself as life itself, then what is there to fear? Fear is the shadow of the ego. When the ego dissolves in the light of awareness, fear disappears with it. And what remains? Silence. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of everything. The deep, resonant, living silence of pure being.